Let me just double check it. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely working now.
Yeah.
This new location, apple in hand. Let's jump into it.
Alright. Cool.
This
It
is-
started and everything?
Yeah, it started. We're on Twitch. I'll cut it up for like YouTube.
Uh-huh.
later.
Cool.
There's 2 people already watching. That's crazy.
I don't even know what Twitch is.
Oh, it's like video, just live stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it just is the easiest for me to like move it onto another platform and then chop it up.
Uh-huh.
Before I was recording on my phone, it's a lot
Yeah.
of problems, you know.
Alright.
Gotta make it easy.
Uh-huh.
Crucial. Okay.
Hi, 2 people.
This is BSnBanter, second biggest, second best live podcast in the world.
Okay.
I'm Tyler Crowell, and we're here with today
I'm Heron Rana.
Heron Rana.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Heron Rana.
It's a great name.
I got the heron and the Rana. It's a frog in Spanish, so yeah. I just got that a couple months ago. Yeah.
Sick. No, I was at an open mic like a while ago, and I think you explained it, but I missed it. I was like, she just told me why.
Oh.
I first became aware of you because you had a million flyers in downtown Davis.
Oh yeah.
For that
my
album.
release.
Yeah, and I was like,
Aw.
and I listened to it. I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
Cool.
And then, like, I think a year after that, I was at an open mic and you were playing.
Yeah, well, a year after is actually in October.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Recent.
Yeah. But, so maybe a couple months ago? Was it when I was singing, like, a Bitches song?
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's my new stuff I'm working on.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I noticed you've been doing, or you're posting a lot about the work you're doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, learn the game of being an artist out in the world and try to, like, play that whole game, get followers, like, have people listen to my music and, expose myself.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I recommend TikTok.
TikTok?
Seems like a good platform as far as, like, getting people who know nobody into, like, a lot of people knowing them.
Okay.
Because I feel like with Instagram and a lot of other accounts,
Uh-huh.
what they do is they'll just show it to people you know or people that know them.
Yeah.
But TikTok will just show it to anybody.
Uh-huh.
So it's just like, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah, it'll catch on. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good to know. TikTok?
Just advice.
Yeah.
I'm not really soaring in the views, but who knows?
Uh-huh. No, but I just enjoy, like, expressing myself and talking about my work, my story,
Mhm.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So, like, when did you start making music?
Well, I released my last album, my first album, which is my last album.
Yeah.
My most current album.
There's one album now,
One
but
album.
soon there'll be another one.
Yeah. My first album is called Her First Time.
First time.
And I released that last October. And that was like the beginning of me as a recording musician, because I've been like a street performer for many years.
Okay.
That's how I like sustained myself for some like 7 years.
Dang.
Yeah, just playing saxophone in buses. I lived in Mexico and in Brazil, so.
Okay. Is that where you're from?
No, I'm from Davis.
Oh, really? Originally?
Yeah, I'm
Crazy.
just a white girl from Davis, no Latino roots or anything. Yeah, but I was a traveler. I still am, but now I'm like in a different chapter of my life. But I was like a street kid, like it's a hitchhiker, traveling person for a long time, and so that's kind of how I sustained that. Was just performing whatever like city or town I ended up in, doing playing my sax in like front of bars or in the buses. People like stop the bus. Artists in like Mexico stuff, you stop the bus and get on and ask to play a couple songs and then pass the hat through the bus and people give you money. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Dang. Wait, so did you make more or less than you were expecting doing that? Like, were people more generous or like less generous?
I mean, there's always like harder days and good days, but I was able to sustain myself. I lived very simply, I wasn't like lavish in any way, but yeah, I would make way more than like most people make in like labor jobs daily. You know?
Right.
That's just like a lot of times with street performance, at least in that region, I've noticed is like you do make way more, but that's just because like the jobs are so low wage, like the labor conventional like minimum wage jobs are so badly paid that a street performer makes more money than that. So
Let's
yeah.
see. So would you say you were more when you're performing on the street, you're just playing your instrument, or are you still like adding in the vocals?
No, I was back then I was just playing like kind of improvising my sax, playing cover songs like Brazilian songs that everyone knows, and I'd play with other traveling musicians that I'd meet, and like we'd join arms and get together and do like, you know, work together. Yeah, I also would hula hoop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
With
Hula hoop.
fire.
Oh, with fire.
Yeah, with or without fire, because I do street circus. So then that was another street performance thing I was doing for many years. Yeah.
Just like a little bit of everything. Just like you like performing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
I like performing. I
Mhm.
like being like center stage and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know at least when I saw you at the mic, you seemed like you
Uh-huh.
really were comfortable up there, just like
Yeah.
talking shit and like playing music. That's great. you
It's
know?
like comfortable with being like awkward and like a little goofy or something, like just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little awkward, but like I'm comfortable with it. It's like how I can express my.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
sick. It's like it's really
Yeah.
cool. Like, I'm actually interested in the street circus thing you mentioned. Like, how do you
Yeah.
even get involved in something like that?
When I first moved to Brazil, I met a bunch of b-boys who would dance in the street. Like a thing in Latin America that's very common is like at street performance is in the crosswalks when the light turns red, the light, the red light. You go into the crosswalk in front of the cars and do like a 1-minute performance, and then you ask for money from the cars that were stopped. Yeah, so it's like a quick, like you do 40 seconds, and you ask for the money, and go all the way down the lines of the cars, and you make your money for sure. Like
Dang.
especially if you have a good show. Yeah, so I had friends who were b-boys who would do that, like all the whole jumping on their hand and flips and all that stuff, and they would. So I started going in with them and with my hula hoop, and then I just ended up. Doing that consistently while I lived down there, and then meeting like the circus people who do the same thing, but then that's what more with juggling and unicycles and the ladders. It's like a ladder that tall ladder, and then they can kind of like walk on the ladder.
But just one person, right? They're climbing up and down and doing tricks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there's all sorts of like it's such a strong culture, like street circus in Latin America, in Brazil where I live. That we just don't even really realize is going down. Like here, we just don't really have any access to that.
Yeah.
That magic that is like really present there. Yeah. So living down there, I just kept getting more and more involved in that. We do like shows, like Friday nights in like the plazas, the town squares or whatever. Like people often go like to walk around with their families, and so we do shows. Then when everyone's like out and about in the town squares and stuff, and people just like gather around, and then at the end of the show we pass the hat. And
so you're performing more like, would you say you were involved with a group, but do you also perform by yourself or?
Yeah, I've performed a lot by myself.
Yeah.
Doing that, just like telling people, come watch me. I light up my fire or do whatever, and then they start gathering around, and then do my show, and then pass the hat. But I've also like my baby daddy, we for like 5 years did that together before we had a kid, and a little after, but mainly before. We traveled together for many years, and we were kind of partners as circus performers. Yeah, and then just through being in that scene, we'd make a lot of friends who also do it. So then, like, if we're living all in the same city for a while, then we kind of would create like a group and work together. And then, but we were nomadic, so like we'd stay a couple months in one place and then keep going. And meet new people and do our own show. The two of us did a lot of shows together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That's like, I couldn't even imagine doing that.
Yeah.
Like, what made you just, so you're from Davis.
Yeah, I'm from
And then one day
Davis.
you're just like, I'm going to Brazil, I'm going to hula hoop and fired, play saxophone. That's that's crazy. I love that, you know?
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird place for a Davis girl to end up. Never met any other Davis girls out in Brazil doing street performance.
Never?
No. But maybe we're out there. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to go to college. My mom's a professor, so I was like really raised in academia, and like I felt like she'd studied enough years for me, so it just kind of went the opposite direction. But I went as an exchange student in high school to Brazil for a year, so that's how I ended up getting like exposed to Brazil. And but I stopped going to the school after like a month because I met these b-boys, street performers. It was like these people are way more cooler than these high school Brazilian kids. So
just jump ship off the program.
I did. I mean, I was still in the program as like living at a host family's house and everything, but I just stopped going to the school and just would bike around with my friends and explore and go to their like battles with them. I didn't dance break, but I was just present. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really, really cool. I want to kind of bring it back to music because that's like, I guess, the one thing that I knew coming in, at least.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
You're talking about the saxophone, and
Uh-huh.
I think that's one of the things that drew me to your music is just because I feel like anything with a saxophone, if someone knows how to play it, it just sounds like so good.
Yeah,
I
right?
just love the sound of a saxophone.
The saxophone is a special instrument for sure. It's like I guess the closest instrument to a voice, people say.
You think?
So that's kind
Yeah,
of
it
what
could
people
be.
talk about it as, which I like. I really like to take advantage of that and kind of like simulate melodies I hear in my head, like in my music I put a lot of the sax following the voice, you know, like, and kind of where you can't really tell which one is which, they just combine, and then so that's something I really like, is confusing the sax with the voice in the recording process.
Yeah, it sounds like really unique. I like it a lot. So you started playing music like just because you were in the street culture down?
Well, I went in elementary school, like they, you know, the band program.
Yeah.
In 5th grade, so I started playing saxophone in 5th grade. So, and I quit in high school for like 4 years because freaking jazz band in Davis High is just like so sterile and like competitive and like boxed in, and it's just like I lost all understanding of why I would ever want to play music or be into jazz or like the saxophone. It was like, all of this is just bullshit. I'm never doing this again. But then I came back to it like after 4 years. When I started street performing with my hula hoop, I was like, wait, I actually have another talent and I could use this. So that's how the sax came back in.
So you start with the sax, and then you're just playing sax for a while. Did you end up picking up other instruments, or?
Yeah, when I was pregnant, I started playing the guitar, and cause like I was so used to being like on the street on my bike everywhere all day long, and then I was suddenly like, so this was like a perfect thing to do. So I learned like chords and how to sing while I play, and I started like getting more confident with using my voice and stuff, and so that's kind of what led me to start singing and writing my own songs, because the saxophone's kind of a weird instrument to write songs on because it's just like a voice, but like the guitar, you know, like having the chords present to build other the melodies off of is like is a really nice tool for songwriting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I really like songwriting. Like, I've realized like growing into my identity as a musician, it's like I'm a saxophonist, but like I'm very much like I guess a composer. I still don't know the difference between like a composer, arranger, a songwriter, a producer. I don't really know the difference between, but I think I'm a little bit of all those. Yeah, I write songs and harmonies and arrangements, and not in paper, but in my head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is the hard part sometimes like translating that into like a recording? If it sounds like clear in your head?
No, because yeah, in my head it's like I can pretty much like turn what I hear in my with my saxophone into the song, you know, and then the fun part is actually recording, because then once I have like a basic understanding of what I want the song to, like the chord progression or the melody, then I start like hearing harmonies and like other parts and little like side parts going on, and then it just like keeps building up. It's like whoa, oh my god, this too, wow. So it's fun. I love recording because it gives me like the framework for me to start getting more creative on top of it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's see, you play guitar, play saxophone.
I don't really play guitar anymore. I
Okay.
kinda, yeah.
Gave it up.
Yeah, I just got I got too busy for it.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
I'm not pregnant anymore.
All right. So, learn guitar, and then you started just adding the voice.
Mhm.
But you have more instruments, like at least in the album, right?
Yeah.
Do you have other people play those for you?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I really like friends. So I like try to involve my friends in my music, and I think it's also a cool way to create friendship is collaborating with people, like musically and creatively. And so yeah, like I have different friends who play like on my album, my first album and my second one too, like the bass, the drums or percussion, and the keys are mainly done by other people, friends. Yeah, my bassist, my go-to bassist is Will Durkee.
Okay, Will
Yeah.
Durkee, shout out.
Shout out to Will
Yeah.
Durkee. He's an amazing musician and writes his own music, but he's super supportive of putting music based down on my songs, and he just like creates. I often have like a melody for the bass line, and then he just like levels it up. Like it's like, oh, okay, that's what like having a creative bass player like is like. Yeah, and then yeah, percussion. I've Alex from Boca do Rio. It's a band.
Boca do Rio.
Yeah, it's a Brazilian music group here in Sacramento.
Okay.
And
Boca do Rio.
yeah, Alex has been really supportive on. He plays the pandeiro.
What is that?
It's that Brazilian in samba, the one with like the circular thing, and then you hit it while it jingles.
Oh. I think I know. It's like a tambourine, but with like extra things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and he plays the cajon and different stuff.
Cajon. Wait, what's cajon?
The cajon is the box.
Oh, the box. Okay.
Yeah, you sit on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
It makes like drum sounds.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
sick. Cajon.
Yeah, so he played on my first album and on the second one too. The second one is more like produced beats, a little more like, but he added tracks of live percussion to like broaden the beat of it so that it's not just looped. Yeah, samples.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Really great. So you started sounds like the first album was mostly like live playing, and now you're using like a software or something.
Yeah, I mean I used GarageBand on my first album, but it was all live instruments. And the second one is mainly live instruments too, but it's got more of like a little more of, I don't know, like modern modern music, not like, more, I guess, hip hop feeling, like with the beats, like sample beats, but it's still like live sax, live bass, live singing and harmonies and everything. But the first one was mainly was a lot more like organic feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I also, it was my first album, and I made it pretty much by myself. Almost like the whole process of recording and everything I did in my mom's closet.
Oh, nice.
During quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it was a lot of just figuring out what that, what it is to record a whole song, and complex songs, that have a lot of parts and instruments. And so yeah, it's a DIY album for sure, but I love it because it's like, it's real and like genuine, and has a lot of love put into it as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you prefer like the more collaborative aspects of the current new album.
Yeah, I think, I'm learning, I guess with like the second album, I'm learning that like there's so many jobs within recording an album. Like it never occurred to me that there's like editors of music. Until this second album, halfway through the second album, and I was like, oh wait, I realized like people often have someone who is like, or I guess a producer, right? Often musicians work with a producer.
There's levels to it. Like, there's like so many layers. Like you can get as deep as you want.
Yeah. So I'm like starting to learn that like there's all these jobs that like I don't have to do, and I don't have like the knowledge and practice to make it sound like for editing. I don't know anything. I'm just teaching myself it, So it's like, oh, if I want my music to sound like more fire, as much fire as possible, then it's really cool to work with people who know how to do, that's their job,
Right.
Yeah, so
especially
like
if you know
editing.
people who can do it and help you out on it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm working with someone from Big Sticky Mess.
Big Sticky Mess.
Yeah, it's like a funk group, in like Davis, Sacramento area as well. And the bass player, Patrick. Yeah, he also mixes and produces music. So he's helping me create like, step it up in like with the editing and production tips and mixing, and it's exciting to like have that help, be like, oh, I don't have to do this all by myself when I don't even know how to do it.
Right, especially if that's not even like your passion, just like tuning, like everyone has things that they're good at.
Right.
Yeah, and it's cool if it allows you to focus on other things, like making like newer, better things.
Yeah, right.
Like, hell yeah. So, got the album. Do you have any idea when it's coming? Just a question.
I'm trying to make it October 1st.
October 1st. Wow, that's soon.
Yeah.
Dang, okay.
So there's gonna be 5 songs on it.
5 songs.
Yeah, it's actually not an album. It's an EP.
EP, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, my last one was an album. It was 11 songs, but this one is 5 songs, and they're all already like in the mixing like a production mixing process. So pretty much it should be out by then. If not, I'm still figuring out also how to release something, because I guess you could do like one song.
Oh yeah.
A song, every week or something.
I think Russ, this guy got really big. He did that.
Oh yeah.
He just every week he would release a song.
Okay.
He did it for years.
Yeah.
And now he's huge.
Oh shit! Every week he'd release a song for years.
I don't know if he made it straight all the time, but he released a song every week forever.
Wow, that's cool.
It's kind of cool because you get to announce it every time. Whereas with the album, you announce it once and then
it dies down.
Yeah, and then like I don't know. It feels, at least for me, from my perspective, I think it would feel weird to just be like, hey, my album.
Yeah.
Whereas you're like, new.
Yeah.
So, there's a bunch of things you can do.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
If anyone has any ideas, reach out to me.
It's, you're on social media, right?
Yeah.
At
Heron Rana.
HERONRANA. Hell yeah. So you got the EP coming. What would you say like some influences are? Because I remember you rapping and singing kind of.
Yeah. Right now, I really like a lot of. I guess I'm very influenced by R&B and so like Erica Badu,
Oh, yeah.
D'Angelo, and Anderson .Paak, and then yeah, Hiatus Coyote.
Hiatus Coyote.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't know though.
Oh, they're from New Zealand. So female singer, musician, also instrumentalist, and they're very cool band as well. Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite song at the moment?
My favorite song?
Yeah. Something that's been like stuck in your head lately.
Yeah, there's a song. I'm gonna put it on right now.
Yeah, if you want to. I don't know. I've yet to be content striked. But it could happen. But I feel like it would be fun to put it on. So
Yeah.
Wait, do you know the name of it?
Yeah, it's by Farnell Newman, called Love and Peace. It's just like, I like jazz a lot too, and I like when jazz mixes with like R&B, I guess. Yeah, so.
I've really been liking this guy called John Rosenborough. It's
Okay.
like, he has a song called MFL, and it never resolves. So it's like stuck in my head and infuriating, but also I love it. But it's like, it's not quite jazz. It's like, you know, there's all these derivations. Or like,
Yeah.
they got different names for it. I think they call it post bossa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I still don't know like what the derivations of like my favorite type of jazz is, because I like it when it's like groovy still and funky before it goes too like that's too much for me sometimes. Like all of the changes just like but like I like when it just kind of keep like a groove, you know, and it's like but it's still like got a really cool solos and improvisation. But it stays
like, you don't like the loop so much, but like a little like consistency is
yeah.
good, you know?
Sometimes I really like this amazing female musician, Esperanza Spalding. She's super cool, but sometimes it's so like theoretical, the music that she makes, because she's like a very I guess trained theoretical musician as well, so it sometimes gets like you never know where it just keeps changing, and like it's like whoa like you're like, oh, that feels good right there, and then it's like, wait, where are you going? So yeah, that's just an example.
No, I love it's great. Esperanza Spalding. Do you have a song by her that you like a lot?
Yeah. What is that called? Smile Again or
Smile
something?
Again?
I'm not sure if that's what it's called. Yeah, Smile, something like that. Something Smile.
So are you still recording at the studio you recorded the last one at, in the closet?
Yeah, in the closet, the studio, like literally just a closet.
Home studio.
Yeah. No, now I've been recording in a couple different studios. There's one in Davis that I recorded at, which was really cool, with Rowan McGuire. Yeah, and then there's one in Arden in Sacramento.
Okay.
Called Rosa Mortem Studio, with Ashley. She's the audio engineer out there. And that's a really cool spot too. So yeah, I've been doing mainly recordings there. But then I never like I sometimes don't kill it in the studio, so then I have to come back home and try to like redo little parts in my room, which then takes down the quality. But sometimes I need like 50 takes to get my like voice to like go instead of Yeah.
Hell yeah. Is there any music that you hate?
I hate? I mean, not that I hate it, but I can't listen to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I respect music for sure. I'm punk, but like I've never really been able to like get super down with like hardcore like punk music, like noise.
Yeah. Industrial.
Yeah, yeah. It's I like good groove, and so like yeah, my baby daddy ex partner listened to a lot of that, and that was always hard for me to really get in. It was just like oh, but I love punk culture, and so and I identify as punk as well. But yeah, I've always been. For some punks, I'm a phony because I can't handle the noise. Yeah, but a punk who likes jazz, man. So, but yeah, sometimes I get a little turned off by like sometimes like in hip hop, I really like the sound in hip hop, but sometimes there's certain lyrics in certain types of songs and certain artists that are just really like degrading, and so that's kind of also where like my music comes from too, is like taking that groove sometimes and then like finding other words to take back some of that. Like the word bitch, like my song bitch is just like comes from sometimes just like hearing like slap a bitch in the face or whatever, and then I'm like ooh, like okay, bitches are strong, bitch has been wrong, the bitch is sick and tired of being in your songs. So yeah, that'll be there. Yeah, a lot of my music is reactions to like things I've experienced or observed, yeah, and feelings that I have about, yeah. In this album, it's all about women. The whole album, like every song, is dedicated to a different aspect of being a woman.
Okay.
And so they all kind of tell different stories about real things. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Let's see. How about your favorite song that you've made?
That I made?
Yeah.
I like all my songs.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about being, I feel like a musician is you get to make the sounds that make you feel good. Like, so like, yeah, I really like my music, and that's not in like a conceited way. It's just like it's what I naturally like long for, you know, and so that's what comes out. And yeah, so I have a lot of variety in my music. Like in my first album, there's a lot of different styles, and then my second album is like a completely different style than the first one. So yeah, I like there's a song on my first album that I feel like a lot of people like more than the other ones. It's called Aki. Yeah, nice. It's the first one on the album. It's just like a song that feels really, it's like a very likable song. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and I think like Bitches in my next album is gonna be kind of like the more hitter song of the album, you know, that people are more, because it's just like funky and fun, you know, so, and like turned up, you know. But it's not my favorite, but I think people will like it just because it's more poppy, I guess, you know. It's like what people are like, the hit vibes. But
sounds like you have like a little bit of like, I wish my other songs caught like that. Do you feel that way at all or no?
No, not at all. Yeah, because the other songs I love them like just as much, and if like people don't necessarily hear what I hear in them, it's just because like it's just a different style, you know. Like people, there's certain songs that just like are like the popular vote amongst society, you know, and then there's like the songs that adhere to certain perspectives or ears, you know. And so my other songs wouldn't be what they are if they were just like more poppy and like the Bitches song. They're beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, I could actually. I literally have them on my speaker. Like I could play a song.
You wanna? Yeah.
Only if you want to. But
yeah, I would love to. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not? Sneak peek.
Yeah.
Sneak peek. Dang. All right.
But then you should decide whether you would want to hear the more pop hit one or the other more sensitive tastes.
I'm always attracted to the new. So like I've heard you do Bitches
Oh,
before.
okay. Yeah.
Forgive me. But
it's fine by me. I don't
like
know.
a new like what's like the newest one that, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I can play one that actually got sent to me. It's the first one that's been like slightly more mixed.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not done, but I'll send that. I'll play that one because it's a little shorter too than
Why
like.
not?
Yeah. It's still not there. It's not ready, but it's getting there.
You are my favorite song. To you, I
This is my friend
dance
singing.
all night long, all night long, all night long, all night long. You are the shit, don't take no shit. I love it when you stand up. Show your shit, show your shit, show your shit, show your shit. Please know that I got your back. I hope you got mine, cause I still got yours, still got yours, still got yours, still got yours. And I love it when you smile, I love it when you smile. Would you like to stay for a while? Would you like to stay for a while? Would you like to stay for a while? Wow.
This is me.
You are my favorite song. To you, I sing and dance all night long. You are the shit, don't take no shit. I love it when you stand up, show your shit, yeah, shit, yeah, shit, yeah, shit, yeah. I hope you got mine, cause I still got yours. And I love it when you smile. Love it when you smile. Would you like to stay for a while? Would you like to stay for a while? Oh, would you like to stay? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Would you like to stay for a while? Stay for a while. Stay for a while. Would you like to stay? I'll have you over someday. Smile at each other while we pass the day. Talk about the things that we need to say. Eat a snack and give each other love and praise. Process our feelings while the kids play. A love supreme, a love supreme, a love supreme, a love supreme.
Yeah, that's that song. It's called Women.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe for sure. It's like
Oh yeah.
that's kind of the feeling. That's what I mean. It's not like a hit song. It's like a vibe song. Like when we like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's not like something you're gonna turn on in the club.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily that. Maybe I'm also that type of musician, but I'm also this. Just I really like this kind of groove, and like that's like a similar style to some of my favorite songs right now.
would you say you write more, like you said you write in your head, but do you think like you also were talking about improv? Do you prefer one over the other?
Like improv mainly comes. I pretty much like. I bike around a lot. That's like my main form of transportation, I guess. And I improvise in my like singing, just kind of make up melodies while I'm biking a lot. So that's where a lot of my songs come from. Is just like improvising melodies in my head, and then I'm like, ooh, I like that, and then I voice memo it for later.
Hell yeah.
And that's how I start building the song. But it all comes from like improvised, just like jamming out to myself in my head. Whatever. Yeah. So yeah.
Do you have any like routines that like help your creative process? Like you said, the biking.
Oh yeah.
Is one. But is it more like, I don't know, like what is it like?
I mean, yeah, I feel like often, yeah, just it kind of has been different for each song, each album. But like sometimes I'll be like very stimulated in my head about like a frustration or like something that I am thinking about, and like I'll start like hearing lyrics, and then I'll write them down, and then it's like, oh, now I need to build a song around this, and so then it's like playing around on keys. I don't play keys really, but like I have an ear enough to like hear what I liked sounds good. Then usually I can't like reproduce it, but if I'm like recording it, then I have it, you know. So then that'll start coming in, like matching the lyrics, and then building a melody with the lyrics with like keys below it. And yeah, that's like how I guess I build a song. I don't have a lot of time for that often because I have a 5-year-old son who I raise most of the week, like 5 days a week. So I don't have and it's just hard to get into that mode when I'm with my child. You know, I need to be like concentrated and not distracted.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So it doesn't happen that as much as it could, but then again, then that's good because then I'd have all these songs that I'm trying to like record, and then I just wouldn't have. I'm like ready to like be done with this album, so I can like start practicing my sax more and doing other types of things other than writing songs. It's like, yeah.
Taking a toll.
Yeah, it's just a lot of work, you know, to like make a finished product out of an idea. And
trying to get back to fun.
Yeah, once I get an idea in my head, then it's like I get attached to it and I want to hear it in its full capacity. Yeah.
So do you think like just the end, that's the worst part? But like everything else is like...
Well, I mean, I've been working on this album for like 10 months now.
10 months.
Yeah, but like I said, I often get maybe 2 days, if even that, to work on it. You know, I just don't have a lot of hours in the week that I have to dedicate on my music, and so it would have been able to be way quicker. But that's the beauty of being a mom too, is we can, you know, build things together and adapt with time, and then like the lived experience of every day kind of starts affecting the music as well, and new ideas come with it, rather than just being like stuck in a studio with all the time in the world, just being like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna stay up till 4 a.m. in my like studio with no windows, and just like, you know, and then get stuck in that. You know, I know musicians who just like are really, that's like what all their time can be dedicated, or most of their time, and so it's like you might be able to release a song in a month or something, or an album or whatnot, but it's like you're not living other like really contrast experiences while you're doing that. So I feel like sometimes it's healthy to like have contrast and equilibrium in experience, and not just be like for me at least, like I'd probably go crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Let's see. I have only a couple more questions. Is there anything else like music related that you want to talk about? Because I'm enjoying the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, I don't know where to take it.
Yeah, well,
it's difficult. Now the pressure's on.
I know, now you just built the pressure.
We talked about your favorite artists, songs, genres, music you're creating.
I could talk a little bit about the message of this album
Yeah,
that
of
that I'm about to create. It's it's like I said, all about women, and so but also I'm trying to figure out like the vocabulary where like women, that being inclusive to like non-binary people, and obviously inclusive to trans women too, and making sure that's like coming across, that it's not like this very closed, like heteronormative understanding of a woman, but yeah, so that is the objective of the album. But I am like a she, her, woman, and so that's my experience, and as the songs are like come from me, that's mainly how they are like portrayed. Like I talk about like uterus, like one of the lyrics is song, like the melodies come from our uterus, like the mother Jesus, like we're like the mother Jesus with our uterus, something like that. I don't remember. But like so the songs are, each song is like different story about women. Like this one I just played is about like the friendships I've created with other mothers.
Okay.
And just like the strength that forms in our lives when we have like the support of other mothers in our lives. And so like it's like I love like I want to see her thrive, and I want to see like her to stay a little while. I love it when she smiles. And we eat snacks in the park and talk about our feelings while the kids at play. It's it's about the love that comes from like that shared experience of being a mother, and how we got to support each other. And there's another one about artists, women as artists and musicians, because I've also I've definitely struggled with being a woman musician, as I'm sure most women musicians have, because it's like, at least in what I see a lot, is like a lot of men playing the instruments. Sometimes the women sing, but there's not a lot of women instrumentalists in the music scene, at least like in Sacramento. And there are some, and I love the ones who I know, and like super. So this song is kind of about supporting each other as female musicians, and how like powerful and strong we are for being in that world, and like and being seen, and like putting ourselves out there, and so that's one of the songs that I have. There's Bitches, which is about like kind of taking, maybe I've had like some emotional a lot of things in my life. I mean, yeah. And so like that one is kind of explaining about like bitches, like sometimes women don't behave in the ways that we want or expect of them, or sometimes are troublesome, problematic or whatnot, and that can, let's try to remember that can often come from like the degradation of women, and like the trauma that comes in different women's lives, and so like Bitches is kind of about taking that word back of like, yeah, we're bitches and we're like really strong, and we put up with a lot of bullshit and we're bitches. Yeah, so yeah, that's.
Oh yeah. So is that the name of the album, Women?
No, I'm still figuring that out.
The name. Got you.
Yeah, I have to think that one through.
You're trying to figure out like the perfect
Yeah.
encapsulating.
I'm thinking of maybe following through with like her first time, which is my first album.
Okay.
And maybe like something like that, like her something like she's back, or I don't know, something like that, and like another phrase like that.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Great. Let's see. All right. You were talking about like community awareness, like among mothers and stuff like that. I think I've heard you like or seen you post about it. Like, are you like involved in any other like communities and like outreach, like building? Like,
Yeah.
cool things?
Yeah, I feel like that's been like one of my main identities as a. I forgot right back where it was. As a person, like I've grown into that being another. Like I'm a musician, and I'm also kind of realizing like maybe a community organizer. Grown like the last couple of years, I've definitely like grown into learning how to be that. And yeah, so we have a lot of we have a really beautiful, strong community around us in my home. Like I live with my mom, and she's opened the house that I grew up in, like to many people while I've been living here. So like 2 of my best friends live at the house too, and my son. And in the past, it's been other people, and so just in itself, my house is already like very community oriented. Receives a lot of people, and a lot of people bring a lot to it. But then like outside of that, just like musically, a lot of community. But we also like as a mother, we created a mothers collective for childcare.
Okay.
Like 3 months ago. So we each take care of me, and it started with 6 moms and 6 kids. We each, once a week, we kind of take care of the kids, like everyone else's kids, and then the next day would be another mom and another mom. So we all get like a couple days off per week. And as like single mothers, which some of us are, that's like really necessary to get some, you know, we do it Monday through Friday for 5 hours a day. So that's like some 20 hours without your kid per week, which is like huge for single mothers. So that was very impactful for us, and me, and for the kids too. It's been like amazing, them getting to hang out every day, just like on a consistent basis.
They're all getting along well.
Yeah, I mean, there's always challenges, but that's also important for them to like learn how to be exposed to challenges. It's like very broad age, because it's not like a school system format, you know. So it's the youngest is 2 and the oldest is 7.
Okay.
So like that's a challenge in itself, just like age differences.
Different problems. You know?
Yeah, but I think it's also a beautiful thing, and I really actually don't approve of like conventional school, how it divides people up so much by their age, you know, like 5th graders don't talk with 4th graders, and like,
but it'll be like 2 months in between some of them.
Yeah, right. And you know, we were so raised, that's so ingrained in our head as children, and like I really like the idea of like my kid being you know, able to connect to people of all ages, you know. And that also happens with like my lifestyle, where I have brought him around a lot of like my friends, you know, like go to events or parties and bring my son, and him just having to learn how to be in an environment that's not like a kid space, you know. And for grown-ups or young people, we're not teenagers, whatever you like, young adults, to also be able to learn how to like have fun around young people.
Yeah. No, I like that idea, because I don't know if that gets brought up a lot when people talk about community, but I feel like a big part of it is interacting with people of all ages, genders, what have you, backgrounds, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Like if you can only get along with like one kind of person, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not as inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, totally. Yeah, and in my house, like, we're also multi-generational. You know, we have my mom, and then me, age and then my son's age. So
3.
yeah, and she's always like, yeah, we gotta remember, like we're like, that's like another thing to fight for is like multi-generational inclusivity, you know, because like so often like in our society the old people kind of just get like shut out, you know, because they're not in the hip like understanding of young people, and like definitely doesn't have to be that way. Like my mom's got a lot to bring to the table, and she is completely like part of our young adult community, you know, like she's in it as one of us, and you don't see that too often around here, and that's pretty awesome. My mom is an amazing radical person, so yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm lucky to have that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any like life philosophy or mantras that like help you focus or give you direction?
I don't know. I have a lot of philosophies. I've grown into a lot of different philosophies. But I think I'm very adaptable, so I'm very like influenced by the people who are around me. So like those philosophies have changed. Like I'm not like gung ho ever on one, and that's like that has its good sides and its bad sides. But like the good part of that has been like to be really open to accepting other people's philosophies and, you know, mantras, and kind of trying them out for myself. But I think like kindness.
Kindness. I like that.
Yeah, kindness is really important to me, and I have a lot of like really genuine relationships with a lot of friends and people throughout my life, and yeah, I think it's like they're based off of like mutual kindness, you know. The ones that are like functional and healthy is because like there's that understanding of like you know, the patience and kind of tolerance when things don't work out how you want, but also like the support and the compassion and just commitment to each other, and that's been going pretty well with relationships. I mean, I was taught that from other friends, and then, you know, now I'm like learning how to just stay trying to practice that, you know. I don't even know if I'm trying to practice it, but it's just kind of what happens. We're always learning, so definitely can fuck up still all the time. But yeah, I think, yeah.
Hell yeah, kindness.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Let's see. I think I have like one closing question, unless you think of something. Moment of silence. All right. I like to ask people at the end, have you ever had a spiritual experience, or something that you would consider spiritual, not something that other people necessarily would, but could as well?
Yeah, something I consider spiritual. I think for some reason, I don't know if this is a spiritual experience, but for some reason, like the first thing that when you said a spiritual experience, the first thing that came to my head was I almost was murdered once.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wait, can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd like to know.
Yeah.
If it's not traumatic.
I mean, it's traumatic,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
it's
like,
not. Yeah, it's definitely like shareable. Yeah, I was traveling and
laughing. Like if it's not traumatic, then we're all murdered. Sorry.
No, but it's not. It's past,
right,
you know,
past,
and I'm
past.
safe. I'm
Safe.
alive. Yeah, but I was traveling in Brazil on my bike for like a year or two, and I ended up like just starting to travel by myself. And like the second day traveling by myself, I was on this dirt road out in the middle of nowhere going to this little town, and a man came out of a bush out there, yeah, with a big like knife, and I was on my bike, and he just like started running towards me. Yeah, and he grabbed me and like started trying to pull me back, and I had the knife like right here at my neck, and but I was on the top of a hill, and so I like was able to like free myself, and he like pulled the bike back and broke something off the bike, but like because it broke, I was able to get out, and he was chasing after me, and I was just riding down that hill, and I survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it probably didn't even take, was like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Like intense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that was definitely like something that consistently like flashed in my head afterwards, is like, wow, like my mom could have gotten like this news about, you know, this girl's body found somewhere, because I've known girls who were murdered traveling by themselves.
Like known of, or like you knew them? And
I've known two, like not closely, but I met them
Yeah.
and had hung out with them before. And yeah, that was like a very intense experience, and like afterwards, you know, people like some people's reaction is like, oh well, like you're hella stupid for like being out there by yourself, and that's a classic reaction, you know, to often, you know, to women, you know, like women ask for things, you know, like she got raped because she was wearing a really short skirt, you know, she got murdered because she was out on her bike by herself, but that was like something that kind of brought a lot of like awareness to my life, and I think it impacted me in ways that I didn't really realize until later, you know, the choice that I made after that. But yeah, I think being alive is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, actually like a month after that, I got pregnant, and then just yeah, made more life and continue with my story, try to be a little more aware of where I am, my body is in certain places. But
Sure.
yeah.
That's fucked. So crazy.
Yeah.
Alright. Spiritual experience.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a spiritual
It's definitely an experience. And like, I don't know, it could have spiritual implications. I can't speak.
Yeah, I mean.
Implications. There we go.
Yeah,
Fuck.
spiritual.
Damn.
I mean, DMT is a spiritual experience for
Yeah.
sure.
Shit.
When
Yeah.
I was like 16, I smoked DMT, and I mean, if that's like the spiritual experience that one is looking for, that's definitely like brought me like to very intense realizations. It was kind of like the first moment I realized I don't think I'm gonna be going down a conventional path. Yeah.
Did you like, a lot of people that I've heard talk about DMT speak about like meeting entities or
I met worms. I was like, yeah, I was like buried in the dirt, and there were like worms crawling, but it was like hell. It wasn't creepy. It was like I was part of the dirt, and
part of the dirt.
yeah.
You
and
were a worm, or you were
I
dirt?
wasn't a worm, but the worms were like, you know, just like around me and stuff. There was like a rock over here, some roots,
Hell
and yeah, and then like these plants started growing out of my body, and my dad is a farmer, and an organic farmer, but he left me when I was 4, so I wasn't raised with him at all, and but it was like while I was laying there with the worms, I knew my dad was about to come and pick the vegetables that were growing out of my body, all like on the DMT trip, you know, but it was like a really impactful thing, like somehow healing also, like
Yeah.
from my father to come pick my veggies, like yeah.
So it wasn't like, oh no, he's gonna pick the vegetables. It's like, oh yeah, it's circle of life type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, it was all positive. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not like obsessed with it, but of the DMT trips I've heard about, like I don't really hear a bunch of like negative things.
Yeah, I
It's
guess.
usually like positivity people
Uh-huh.
take out of it, or like a life realization, which maybe, but like it's still like growth kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, you don't have to do DMT at home, but or do. I haven't actually smoked DMT since that moment.
Well
But
done.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's cool that it's out there as medicine used in the right way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. All right. Shit. I kind of. Do you have any like jokes or anything?
Any jokes? I don't know about that.
No jokes. Shit. I had a good one, but I forgot it. Man. I hate that. It's like, no, I was so ready, and then I just like,
Yeah.
can't hold on to it. You know? I want to like, fuck, joke. So when you tell someone to like, tell a joke, it makes the joke less funny.
Yeah, it really does.
I have a quote for you instead.
Okay.
It's from Mitch Hedberg.
Oh.
It goes, I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too.
Oh, nice. I like that. Yeah.
All right.
Poetic.
Fuck. Let's close up. I thought it'd be fun to like try on sunglasses.
Okay.
But if you want to try on some sunglasses, be my guest. This is second best live podcast in the world. I am Tyler Crowell. This is Heron Rana. She has a EP, 5 songs.
Yeah, it is gonna be 5 songs.
5 songs. It's coming out hopefully on the 1st of October.
Yeah.
Coming up soon. And yeah, check out her old one too. Her first time. Hella good.
Yeah.
Fuck
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
All right. It's still recording, and we got 1 viewer to the end.
Oh, hell yeah.
Perfect.